Okay, we're going to talk about markers. So most of you know how to add markers by hitting the enter key, on the fly, or you can click up here and do it this way, or you can use Command 5 or Windows key 5 and you can add them from here. But you can also do a couple more things with markers. Oh, I forgot to mention colors. Some people don't even realize that you can do colors up here. And that is to go to preferences and check this box, always display marker colors. But we can do a couple other cool things with markers. We can, what I like to call loop markers, or it just makes life easier. So if I know I'm going to work on this hook and I want to get to the hook real fast, I would usually use the marker to get to the hook and then highlight, and I'd have to do that every time. But we can highlight it and create a marker for that. So we can go to add marker, and I would name that one hook loop because I want it to be looped. And then I would hit selection and OK. And then I might do verse. And I would call that one verse loop. Hit selection and OK. And I'll just do one more, and I'll call this one verse loop 2. Selection and OK. So now, along with the regular markers, so I can use the period and the number and the period to get to these markers. Period 2 period takes me to the second marker. Period 3 period takes me to the third marker. I might want to go to the hook loop, so I do period 6 period. And what it does is it takes me back to the second marker, but it highlights it. Or period 7 period, and it highlights it up here. Or period 8 period, and now it highlights it up here. Okay, so that's a quick way to get to your loops if you're going to work on the hook, if you're going to work on the verse, what have you. But you can also do other things. For instance, let's say I only want to look at these vocals right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would just highlight these. And, well, let me get rid of that. Let's go back to the first marker. So I highlight those. Then I come up here to show only tracks selected. Okay. Then I can go to here and I'll call this vocals. And this time I'm doing track visibility. Okay. And so I hit OK. And then I have to create one more. So I'm going to create another one. This time I'm going to go to show all tracks. And I'll just call that one all tracks. Okay. So now if I go to 9, I got vocals, and I want to show all tracks. I go back to all tracks. So it's an easy way to cut down on what you have to look at in the window. Another thing you can do is you might like to zoom. So let me go back to all tracks. So now I want to just zoom in on one part. Let's say I just need to zoom in right here. I might highlight it. And I might zoom. Okay, so I know I need to be over here. So what happens is I'll go over here, create another location, and I'll just call that zoom. And I hit zoom settings. Okay. And when I hit OK, so I got that as zoom. Now I can go back to, let's say I go back to period 1 period. Or let's say now, okay, I want to zoom, so I go period 11 period, and it zooms. Okay, so these are really cool features that can help you, work a little bit faster, because you can get your regular markers period 2 period, or I can do my vocals period 9 period, or I can go back to all tracks period 10 period, or I can go to, let's say, verse loop period 7 period, and that gives me my verse loop. And so these are just some things that some people, I'm sure, knew, some people didn't know, but it's definitely going to help your workflow.